In late February 2022, the sky over Hostomel, Ukraine, was darkened by war, as Russian forces launched a sudden and brutal assault on the strategically vital airport just outside Kiev. The once busy runways, familiar to aviation enthusiasts worldwide, became a front line in the opening days of the invasion. The familiar roar of jet engines was replaced by the thunder of artillery and the crackle of gunfire, not the familiar roar of the world's largest airplane. Inside its hangar at Antonov Airport sat the Antonov An-225 Mriya, Dream in Ukrainian, a six-engine giant, the pride of Ukraine and a marvel of engineering. With a wingspan of 88.4 meters and a maximum takeoff weight of 640 tons, Mriya was the heaviest aircraft ever built, capable of carrying payloads no other plane could match. Designed to carry the impossible, from locomotives to the Soviet space shuttle Buran, Mriya was a global icon for over 3 decades. Its unique twin-tail and 32-wheel landing gear made it instantly recognizable, and its record-breaking flights inspired awe wherever it landed. But as Russian forces stormed the airport, the hangar became a battlefield. Ukrainian defenders fought desperately to repel the attackers, but the onslaught was overwhelming. Artillery fire and explosions tore through the sanctuary, igniting fuel and ammunition stores. The hangar's reinforced walls could not withstand the relentless barrage, and soon, images confirmed the worst. Mriya was destroyed. Its nose cone was shattered, wings scorched and broken, fuselage torn open by shrapnel and fire. The world's only An-225 lay in ruins, a casualty of war. The loss was more than mechanical, it was a blow to Ukraine's spirit and identity. For many, Mriya was a symbol of national pride, technological achievement, and hope for the future. Mriya had delivered humanitarian aid worldwide, symbolizing hope and capability. Its missions brought relief to disaster-stricken regions, from earthquakes in Haiti to medical supply runs during the COVID-19 pandemic. Its destruction felt like a direct assault on the nation's soul. Across Ukraine and around the world, people mourned not just a machine, but a dream that had united generations. The world mourned, and Ukrainians grieved the loss of a national treasure. Aviation communities held vigils, and tributes poured in from every continent. For those who built, flew, and loved it, the silence left behind was profound. The hangar, once filled with the hum of machinery and laughter of workers, now echoed with loss. Yet, amid the ruins, a question lingered. Could the dream ever be rebuilt? Engineers and aviation experts began to assess the damage, searching for any hope of restoration. Unbeknownst to many, the answer was already taking shape. Plans were drawn, parts catalogued, and a vision for Mriya's rebirth began to emerge from the ashes. The story of Mriya was not over. Even in its darkest hour, the dream endured, waiting for the world to believe in it once more. As the fires at Hostomel finally cooled, the world was left staring at the charred remains of the An-225 Mriya, once the largest aircraft on Earth, now a symbol of devastation and loss. In the days that followed, Antonov's leadership stepped forward. At a tense press conference, CEO Yevhen Gavrilov declared, "Mriya will fly again." It was a bold promise, one that seemed almost impossible in the shadow of war. But behind the scenes, this wasn't just hope, it was a meticulously crafted plan. Teams of engineers, some of whom had worked on the original Mriya, gathered in makeshift offices, poring over blueprints and digital scans salvaged from the chaos. Investigative journalists soon uncovered a crucial detail. Hidden deep within Antonov's storage hangars was a partially built second An-225 airframe, a relic from the Soviet era long thought forgotten. This unfinished twin, about 70% complete, became the foundation for a new Mriya. According to Chief Engineer Alexander Donitz, it was as if fate had preserved this frame for just this moment. Restoration efforts began immediately. Teams of aviation technicians combed through the wreckage, salvaging engines, landing gear, and structural parts. Every usable piece was meticulously catalogued, a process described by project manager Irina Koval as painstaking, but essential to honor Mriya's legacy. The vision was ambitious: merge these battle-scarred relics with the unfinished airframe and new state-of-the-art components. "We're not just rebuilding," said lead designer Mykola Stepanenko in an exclusive interview, "we're creating a true successor." By late 2022, Antonov announced the project was already 30% complete, a remarkable feat under wartime conditions. International experts, including former Boeing and Airbus engineers, were quietly consulted to ensure the new Mriya would meet modern standards. Unexpectedly, the global community rallied. Flight simulator fans from around the world joined the effort, raising millions through Microsoft Flight Simulator events and online campaigns. "It's more than a plane, it's a symbol of hope," said one organizer. "The new Mriya isn't just a replica, it's a continuation, carrying the soul of its predecessor." Engineers, some with tears in their eyes, described the project as a mission for Ukraine and for the world. For now, construction is paused, awaiting peace, but the groundwork is laid, and the dream endures. Piece by piece, with every bolt and every memory, the legend of Mriya is being reborn, this time stronger than ever. Rebuilding the An-225 is not just a colossal financial challenge, it's a complex web of costs, logistics, and economic consequences that ripple far beyond the hangar floor. Estimates for the project range from $550 million to over $3 billion, depending on the level of modernization and the sources of funding. Breaking it down, the airframe alone could cost upwards of $400 million, while engines, avionics, and systems upgrades add hundreds of millions more. The cost reflects not just the sheer size, but the need to overhaul a Soviet-era design for today's aviation standards. Modern avionics and a fully redesigned cockpit are essential, with each upgrade requiring specialized expertise and custom solutions. Advanced navigation and communication systems alone can run into tens of millions, ensuring compliance with global airspace regulations. The 6 massive engines, some possibly salvaged but most likely new or heavily refurbished, represent a multi-million-dollar investment per unit, with each engine costing between $10 and $20 million. Logistically, sourcing rare parts, transporting oversized components, and coordinating international supply chains add layers of complexity and cost. Thousands of hours of skilled labor are required to assemble, test, and certify the aircraft, with labor costs alone potentially exceeding $100 million. Certification by international authorities like the FAA and EASA introduces further hurdles. Each system must be meticulously documented, tested, and approved, often requiring custom compliance solutions. Every system must meet modern safety requirements, demanding rigorous ground and flight testing that can take months and cost millions. The project's scale means international support and investment are crucial, with governments, aerospace firms, and private investors all playing a role. The loss of the An-225 has broader economic impacts, disrupting global logistics, heavy lift transport, and specialized industries that relied on its unique capabilities. Despite the daunting price tag and logistical hurdles, the determination to rebuild remains strong, fueled by the aircraft's iconic status and the economic need for its services. The dream's revival is a monumental, but not impossible financial feat, one that could restore a vital link in the world's heavy lift infrastructure and inspire a new generation of aviation innovation. For Ukrainians, the An-225 Mriya was never just a machine, it was a living symbol of national pride and ambition. Its 6 engines and colossal wingspan were more than feats of engineering. They embodied the spirit of a nation determined to reach for the impossible. Mriya, which means dream in Ukrainian, became a source of inspiration for generations, appearing in schoolbooks, art, and even lullabies. Its destruction was a deep personal loss, seen as an attempt to break the nation's spirit. For many, it felt like losing a family member, a wound that cut across generations and communities. Engineers who had spent decades maintaining her, and pilots who had flown her across continents, described the loss as unimaginable. Rebuilding Mriya is an act of defiance, a statement that Ukraine's dream cannot be destroyed. Those who worked on her restoration speak of sleepless nights and shared determination. "We are not just fixing metal," one engineer said, "we are restoring hope." Pilots recall the thrill of guiding the world's largest plane and the pride of carrying humanitarian aid to distant lands. There's no clear business case for such a giant cargo plane, but the project is about morale, not profit. Mriya's missions, delivering relief after disasters, uniting communities, became legendary. Her empty cargo bay now echoes with memories of lives changed and hope delivered. President Zelensky and officials frame it as an investment in hope and the future. They speak of Mriya as a beacon for the world, a reminder that Ukraine's dreams are unbreakable, even in the darkest times. Each rivet in the new airframe is a step toward healing and resilience. For those rebuilding her, every bolt and panel is a tribute to the past and a promise to the future. "We are building more than an airplane," says a young technician. "We are building our country's spirit." When Mriya returns to the sky, it will be a triumph of hope over despair, a lesson in endurance for a new generation. Her ascent will echo far beyond the runway, reminding the world that dreams once grounded can soar again. The dream is a promise that Ukraine can rise again. And as long as Mriya's story is told, her spirit and the spirit of her people will never be lost. The aviation world, along with local communities and enthusiasts worldwide, watches with a mix of hope, excitement, and realism. Everyone understands the technical and financial hurdles are immense, but the dream of seeing the Mriya soar again keeps spirits high. Modernizing the Mriya means designing entirely new digital systems from scratch, an enormous challenge that demands innovation, expertise, and patience. Engineers face daily obstacles from sourcing rare components to integrating cutting-edge avionics. Funding remains a major concern. Without clear commercial demand, the project leans heavily on state support, international partnerships, and the generosity of aviation fans. Local communities have even organized grassroots fundraisers, determined to play their part. Some suggest using parts from other aircraft like the An-124 to overcome supply challenges. Volunteers and retired engineers have joined the effort, searching for compatible components and sharing their expertise. The supply chain for such a unique plane must be rebuilt from the ground up. Every bolt, panel, and wire is a puzzle piece, and delays are common. Yet each small victory is celebrated by the team and supporters alike. Despite skepticism, the global aviation community is united in support. Forums, conferences, and social media are filled with encouragement, technical advice, and stories of inspiration. The Mriya has become a rallying point for dreamers everywhere. The Microsoft Flight Simulator fundraiser proved the world's willingness to help. Gamers, families, and aviation fans of all ages have joined forces, raising both money and awareness for the cause. For many, this is about preserving history and inspiring the next generation. Local residents recall the pride of seeing the Mriya in flight, while young enthusiasts dream of witnessing its return. The restoration effort has become a symbol of resilience and hope. The Mriya's return is a story everyone wants to see realized. From seasoned pilots to school children, the anticipation is palpable. Communities near the airport organize watch parties, hoping to be there for the historic moment. It's more than an airplane. It's a symbol of hope, unity, and the belief that, together, we can achieve the impossible. As of August 2025, the An-225 is gone, but its story continues to inspire engineers, aviation enthusiasts, and a nation determined to rebuild. The rebuild is real, centered on a partially finished airframe and salvaged parts from the original Mriya. According to aviation experts, about 30% of the initial work is already complete, but the path ahead is complex. The project is currently paused, awaiting peace and stability in Ukraine. Yet, the vision remains alive, with teams of engineers and planners refining their strategies for the day work can resume. Experts point out the immense challenges. The cost is estimated at over $500 million. Modernization is essential to meet today's aviation standards, and certification will require international cooperation. Still, the will to succeed is stronger than ever. For Ukraine, the Mriya's reconstruction is more than an engineering project. It's a national priority and a symbol of resilience. Government officials have pledged support, and public fundraising campaigns are underway. Future plans include integrating new technologies such as advanced avionics, lighter composite materials, and more efficient engines. International partnerships with aerospace firms from Europe and beyond are being explored to share expertise and resources. Some experts suggest that, if rebuilding the original proves too difficult, a new aircraft inspired by the An-225 could be designed from scratch, using lessons learned and the latest technology. Either way, the world awaits the day when 6 engines roar to life and a new Mriya takes flight. The next Mriya will be more than the world's largest aircraft. It will be a flying monument to innovation, determination, and the enduring spirit of Ukraine. The dream lives on, fueled by hope, expertise, and a global community ready to see the legend soar again. Across continents and cultures, the An-225 Mriya's influence stretches far beyond its Ukrainian birthplace. Aviation engineers and dreamers worldwide have drawn inspiration from its bold design and record-breaking achievements. The Mriya wasn't just an aircraft, it was a proof of what's possible when ambition and ingenuity unite. Universities teach its innovations in aerodynamics and heavy-lift logistics. Aerospace companies reference its modular cargo holds and 6-engine configuration in the design of future giants. Even outside aviation, the An-225 spirit echoes in architecture, shipping, and anywhere engineers tackle the impossible. The Mriya's missions, delivering relief supplies, transporting oversized cargo, and setting world records, have set new standards for what an aircraft can achieve. Its legacy is visible in every super heavy airlifter, each daring engineering blueprint, and every child who looks to the sky and dreams bigger. The An-225 united a global community of enthusiasts, professionals, and fans. Its story is a reminder that human achievement knows no borders. As the world anticipates the rebirth of Mriya, its legacy continues to inspire the next generation of innovators, proving that, sometimes, the greatest dreams really do take flight. What comes after the legend? As the aviation world looks to the future, the spirit of the An-225 lights the path forward. Engineers and visionaries are already dreaming up the next generation of super-heavy cargo aircraft, machines that may surpass even Mriya's legendary capabilities. Emerging technologies promise breakthroughs once thought impossible. Hybrid electric propulsion could make these giants more efficient and environmentally friendly. Advanced composite materials might slash weight while boosting strength, allowing for even more massive payloads. Artificial intelligence could optimize every flight, from route planning to in-air adjustments, increasing safety and reliability. Designs on the drawing board imagine modular fuselages, allowing aircraft to quickly adapt for new types of cargo or humanitarian missions. Vertical takeoff and landing concepts could bring heavy lift capability to places without runways, transforming disaster relief and construction in remote regions. The An-225 proved that the sky is not the limit, it's only the beginning. As new generations of engineers, inspired by Mriya's legacy, push the boundaries of what's possible, tomorrow's cargo giants will carry not just goods, but the hopes and dreams of a world that dares to dream even bigger.